am Noelle. I am a 30-year HR veteran here, giving the goods, telling you what the deal is for all things HR that you are experiencing in your workforce. Like, we are starting a movement, and that's what I'm trying to let everyone know. We are not just doing what other HR people do on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're not that HR. We are the HR that is speaking truth, and I am putting the power back in the employee's hands to give you all the playbook that no one ever gave me, because despite being in HR for 30 years, I too have been discriminated against, retaliated against in multiple hostile work environments, multiple hostile coworkers. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. So again, we changing the game. We changing how things are. We are more alike with the issues that we experience than we are different, believe it or not. Let's start with managers, right? Let's just start there, because managers, we've all had bad managers. I think most of my managers have honestly been bad. Even if they've been trained, doesn't mean that they're good managers. It means that they've been trained on what to do, but it doesn't mean that they're good managers. I'm not saying they're bad people, but just because you're not a bad person doesn't mean you're not a bad manager, right? You know, sometimes managers would say, "Oh, I'm not a bad person." Who cares? No one said you're, but we're not attacking your character, but we are protecting ourselves, right? So let's not get confused with saying, "Oh, because someone is a bad person, they're a bad manager. A good person is not a bad manager." A bad manager can be simply a bad manager. It can be a great father, great mom, doesn't matter. You can still be a bad manager, right? So this is giving you the tools you need to work with those bad managers. I'll tell you a situation. I had an employee come to me and say, my manager is angry because I'm eating during lunch breaks. Eating during lunch breaks. This is a real story. Eating during lunch breaks. The manager assumed that the employee should be somewhere else and not where the employee was during lunch. So instead of the manager asking, "Oh, is it your lunchtime?" the manager turns around and writes the employee up. The employee, it's funny, but not funny, because it's so true and so terrible of how managers treat employees. So the employee gets back to his desk. He got his write-up there from this manager who wrote him up for eating lunch during his lunch hour. And he's like, "Hey, what happened? Why am I getting this write-up?" He's like, "Well, because you weren't at your assigned place." He's like, "What do you mean my assigned place? This is my lunchtime." He's like, "Well, you weren't at your assigned place. I assigned you to do this and you weren't there. You were somewhere else. I'm going to write you up." So the employee don't even bother with the manager anymore, right? He comes and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, Noelle, hey, this manager just wrote me up because I was eating lunch." And he's like, "It was just my lunchtime. What am I supposed to do with this?" I said, before I get involved, I always ask, right? I always ask, do you want me to intervene officially, or do you want me to tell you what you need to do? It's always a choice. Even now, this is not legal guidance. This is HR strategy, and I will always give everyone a choice, because all I'm doing is giving the knowledge. I'm giving the insights, giving the tools, giving the resources, but it's up to you all. It's up to you what you take, what you don't, up to you. I ask the employee always, do you want me to intervene, or do you want me to just give you your rights of what you can do? So this time the employee's like, "Please just give me my rights. I don't want to make a big deal. I'm already tired of this supervisor. He's already on me all the time. What do I do?" So I tell him, I say, go back to your desk or on your phone, right? Your work phone, your government phone, your company phone, whatever phone. Go back and ask. Go back and ask. Say, "I just want to confirm that this write-up is pertaining this so-and-so time," which of course is the lunch period, "and what that entails." And put it back in their corner. But you got to be specific, because the managers will be like, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize." Yeah, you did. You realized and you knew. But you tried to pull one over so you can be one up on the employee. Like, I see through that. I see through it. Go back and email or send a message, whatever's most comfortable for you, but get it in writing to say, "I was here because it was my lunch, and then you gave me a write-up." Because that's how they slowly start to drip a paper trail against employees. they slowly start to drip it because they don't want to know the truth. They just want to manage you out, especially if you're not the favorite. And that's something that we were just talking about with the last video I posted about favorites in the workplace, right? Favorites in the workplace, you know, the pets. The pets, you know, the people who can basically do no harm. They're basically the ones who run and get the coffee. Yeah, they run and get the notebook. They're the first ones to, in the meetings, right? When you have group meetings, they're the first one in the front row. You know what I'm saying. Everyone knows who the favorites are. And they're not the favorites because they're great at what they do. They're the favorites because they kiss the hardest. And you know what I'm saying. So to compete with them is already losing game. Why? Because the favorites always amp it up. The favorites are always saying, what can I do to continue to curry favor? So what you do instead of trying to compete with the kissers, because you don't kiss, right? Unless that's in your job description, and maybe it is, but most likely it's not. So instead of kissing up, be firm and say, this is actually what I accomplished. The other person, let's say Joe Schmo didn't do not even a quarter or a third of the work that I did. So if Joe Schmo is getting an award, I want to know what the standards are for providing that award. What are those standards, right? How did that person get promoted, get an award, get written up in a way that promotes them to that higher level position, and I didn't, and I put in more work? That's what you say, right? This is HR strategy, and that is what works. It's not simply just documenting. It is just really, really, really important for employees to feel empowered because you have rights. Managers won't tell you this. HR keeps it for the employees, and I mean for the employees as in leadership, but not the employees as in day-to-day employees. They don't do that. HR protects management. Management protects the company. HR protects the company too. So if all these people are protecting the company, then who is protecting you? And that's why we're here. And that's why I'm doing this. So I can give you guys the tools, the resources, and the insights you need so you can speak the game and you can play it better than they do. Because they're going to keep trying you. They're going to keep trying you. Like you're not up to speed on the law. You're not up to speed on your rights. You're not up to speed on how they're navigating the system against you. That's what they bank on. So don't give them that. Don't give them that. Get up to speed. Like, look at your policies and your handbooks. And if you don't know it, that's okay. If they present you with something, ask them for it. It's not your responsibility to know every rule in a book, but you have the authority and you are empowered to request that stuff in writing. Request the policy in writing. Request the procedures in writing. Request the SOP in writing. Request that. You have every right to do all of that. Because retaliation is real. It doesn't matter if you're in a big old corporation or the federal government or a nonprofit. Like, retaliation is real and it impacts all of us. People try to pull the wool over your face because they think you don't know and because they're expecting you to not level up. They want to pull the wool over so that they can treat you bad. And that's just unfortunately the truth of that. That is the unfortunate truth.